LOL!
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's been a while. Welcome to the first devlog of Ollie. Ollie is a 2D story-driven action platformer which takes inspiration from games like Limbo and Hollow Knight. Now, some of you already know that I tried making a similar game a few months back, but that didn't really go anywhere, and that's fine. Let's start from scratch. This time I did not make the mistake that I made before. I started with planning. This includes things like writing down the basic plot, what all areas will be there, what abilities the player will have, the game mechanics. This phase went on for a lot longer than I expected, almost over a month, as I just couldn't stick to one game idea. After days and days of brainstorming, I came up with this concept, which is pretty simple. A traveler who is stuck in a very strange and dangerous place, and he's just trying to get out. That's pretty much it. But the story has a much deeper meaning. One thing that I have learned after watching a lot of these game dev mistake videos is that as an indie game developer, I should try to keep the scope of my project as small as possible. Now, keeping that in mind, I started development. So the first thing that people usually do is make a prototype. I don't do that. I like to start with art. I started with the first area in the game, which is a mansion. It is supposed to be creepy and full of bugs. I think that I have mentioned this before, but I'm a big fan of Thomas Brush's art style. So I decided to take inspiration from Neversong, and as I have never tried to draw interiors, it was very hard. I started with something simple like a hallway. I made a study table, then made a wall, put a texture on it that I stole from Google, added some windows and lights and put them together, and you all can clearly see I'm not copying Neversong at all. And I will tell you my secret. What I do is, for example, I want to draw a table. So I take a picture of a table and then turn it into a silhouette. After that, I just color it myself. This method is really efficient and helps me speed up the process. But in some cases, I just have to draw myself, which is also very fun. Do you think this is cheating? Not in my opinion. I posted this on Discord and asked for feedback, and I identified a lot of things which could be improved. Someone suggested me that I should use post-processing and lighting, and that made such a difference. Like, here is a before and after. Unity post-processing is just so good. Now after that, I got rid of this foreground thing. I made several other changes, like I removed the windows and fixed the lighting a bit, added some doors, and done. This took such a long time to get right, by the way. Now the next step was character design. So after trying a bunch of designs, I decided to go with a silhouetted style like Limbo, and I think it works pretty well here. Then I spent a whole day rigging it and animating it, and he was walking now. Then I created a simple player movement script, which I have done like a million times, so it should be very easy for me. By this time I realized that making this game alone is just impossible. So I decided to find a team member, which was also just as difficult, because guess what? People don't like to work for free. They want money. Like, I don't understand why. After looking for days, I did find someone, and after a few days, he just stopped replying and then blocked me. After doing this for like 4 to 5 times, I just learned that this rev share thing is never gonna work. So I just kept looking and continued my work. The next day I started working on a dining room, which took more time than I would like to admit, which I didn't really even like, to be honest. So I removed it for now and decided I will get back to it later. Then I started working on a staircase scene, which was a failure as well. Interior art isn't really my strong suit. So for the next few days, I just made some random environment art to just have some fun and refresh. Then I got back to the mansion level. Someone suggested me that I should take this game towards the horror direction, and I did explore that for a while and made these monster designs. But I realized I was deviating from the original idea a lot, so I put that idea aside for later. Then I decided that the protagonist should be a kid. I thought that could make the story a lot more interesting. So I made this and tried to keep it as simplistic as possible and liked the result a lot. And I think it is definitely an improvement over my last design. I also created a jump animation and a punch animation and quickly set up the player state machine to play different animation based on certain conditions. So the player movement and hallway was done, which was nice. But now it was finally time to get back to making art for the mansion. So after my failed attempts at making the staircase and the dining room, I decided to make a bedroom. So I made this and also these nightstands. After that, I made the player bounce on the bed and animated the mattress, which turned out to be a lot of fun. And I was pretty proud of the result and liked it a lot. So this is all I have right now. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any ideas or maybe any suggestions or feedback, I would really appreciate that. That's it for this devlog. I am really excited to work on the combat and enemies next. If you like this devlog, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. That really helps me out. See you guys in the next one.